Celeste is a game where you climb up a mountain, but along the way there's all this rigmarole that can make it a very, very long process. And I'm an important man now who does important man things. So if I'm gonna play this game, I'll need to figure out how to beat it in less than an hour. It's been about 10 months since I've played the main game and decided it'd be a good idea to just run it. Oh no. And it went about as well as you'd expect. No, what the fuck was that? Come on. I don't know if this is the way we have to go now or if it's the way we come back. It's the way we come back, I'm wrong. This is not correct. I live though. I live, bitch. And you know, as things go, I don't hate that. I don't hate the pace we're at right now. I'm gonna hate the pace we're at with chapter 3, but right now, I'm kind of feeling it. Falling in the first place, picking up the strawberry, and then surviving at the end of it all, none of it was planned. I will tell you that. Oh, I didn't think that would work. I'll take that too. Major positive to speedrunning. You don't have to hear a word Theo says. It's actually optimal not to listen to him. That's crazy. Fuck! Okay, this is also something that I found, which I'm very happy about. I think we need to get up there, so yep. That is the strat, I did it wrong. There we go. Only took a few tries. I'm fucking stupid, dude. I'm gonna scream. I'm actually gonna scream. I didn't learn any speedrun tech, any routes. Hell, I didn't even remember how to beat the game normally anymore. And that was never more clear than when I rolled up to the doorstep of chapter 5. I don't know what I'm doing. It's a twisting maze with far more alternate paths than any other chapter. It was also one of my favorites on the first playthrough, but now it was looking like it'd be my biggest problem. I don't know what I'm doing. I actually got so lost that I stumbled into the cassette room. But coming in here actually reminded me of an interesting caveat to the Celeste speedrun rules. If you wanted, you could go into the chapter, unlock the B-side, and beat that instead in order to continue. Usually, this would be incredibly stupid since B-sides are much harder, but if you had some tricks up your sleeves, they might end up being faster. Unfortunately, my sleeves are quite empty and I just traded wandering through one maze for another, more dangerous one. Oh. He didn't think it through. What a dumbass. Oh my god, everyone point and laugh at the idiot who didn't think it through. Ironically though, chapter 5 is the B-side used in the route I'll be learning. Well, that was dumb. I should have considered that when I was being a fucking tool. So if I'm gonna do this, I should probably complete it a little faster than 40 minutes. There were also 2 different times where I just kinda paused the run and left. Not really optimal for the run, but I had to help a friend move and I wanted to eat the rice I was cooking, which I really like, by the way. I'd recommend it. In spite of all of this, I actually came up with a couple cool strats on my own. Okay. I don't think I did that part right. Fought Madeline, made the final ascent, and finished the run with a blisteringly fast 2 hours, 11 minutes. And you know what? I'm not in last. Also, it's actually 2 hours and 9 minutes because this is the timer they care about. And now, we run it back. Except this time, I've got a little more memory of the levels and I'll have a 30-minute run pulled up for reference. And with that on my side, I was able to die in the prologue. Oh my god. After that was chapter 1. Definitely the easiest chapter to deal with, but there was still some things to learn. Oh my god. The first big thing was this cool wall bounce in the winged strawberry room that completely skips the platforms on the right, and another fancy little wall jump that's actually a lot easier than it looks. With those 2 tricks and getting lost way less often, I was able to knock off a full minute already, which is a lot for the first chapter. Chapter 2 was pretty much the same deal, learning a couple small tricks like this diagonal dash and these couple shortcuts in the final room, and being generally more confident. What? Even then, I only saved 16 more seconds because I died way more than I should have, and I'm just awful at wave dashes now. Would you? Anytime you're ready. Coming into chapter 3 is where the game gets a lot harder, longer, and has much more opportunity for optimization. At the first door of the resort, it seems like I solved my problem with wave dashes and hypers, but as soon as I got in, I had my first trick to learn. And it was also my first trick I failed to learn. Once you get on the purple platform, you're supposed to jump and wave dash onto the lower blue platform. That launches you forward and you skip the whole room. But for the life of me, I couldn't get the timing down on when to do that wave dash. I was still able to dumb it down though, and did a good old-fashioned hyper for a similar result. I also had a quick little route in the next key room that I made myself back when I was dumb enough to try and get some goldens. I won't be going back to that life. Unless? Good. That's exactly what I want. Bitch. Okay. Oh my god, I'm going stupid. Jesus, that was crazy. A little more meandering around the resort, dying in dumb ways along the way, and I finally made it to the massive mess of a room Oshiro made. There's 3 side routes you need to take to clean the books, clothes, and boxes respectively. And as you can imagine, there is a right order to do these: bottom, top, and right. The main reason I noticed was that it spits you out as close as possible to where Oshiro is each time, but it might also make the routes themselves easier. A reverse hyper here, a wave dash there. There we go. Okay, I'm learning. Cool, love that. This is the hardest room in the game, so that does make sense. As rough as it looks, I was learning a lot pretty quickly. And coming towards the end of chapter 3, we have what I think is the coolest bit of speedrun tech for this game, the demo dash. The demo dash has a lot under the hood that I'm not even going to try and explain fully, but here's the general idea. Madeline's hitbox is 9 pixels tall when she's standing or dashing, and 4 pixels tall when she's crouching. But if you were to dash and crouch at basically the exact same time, you would dash with a 4 pixel tall hitbox instead. And there just so happens to be gaps between some hazards in the game that are, you guessed it, 4 pixels tall. I had my run-in with Oshiro, which sucks mega ass. Dude. Oh my god! And limped out of there with a whopping 50 deaths and over 5 minutes cut off the chapter. Chapter 4 was mostly the same, with general improvements to speed and not dying as much, but there was one cool change early on that involved a spooky trick called a spike jump. Okay, let's try this thing. Oh my god, I did it! I was so flabbergasted, I didn't think that was gonna work. Jesus. Okay, there we go. I'd like to say that I had another huge time improvement, but unfortunately there was some fuck off camera pelting me with snowballs. I'm gonna get upset. And I bet it was Theo, the rat bitch. Regardless, I still got another 20 seconds knocked off and moved to the chapter that I have the best odds of improving in now that I've got an actual route. The cool trick of this part, there are a lot of cool tricks if you couldn't tell, is something called a reverse extended hyper. I know that sounds made up, but it's real. A hyper is the trick you learn in 8C. An extended hyper means delaying the jump so you get your dash back, and a reverse extended hyper means dashing in one direction and jumping in the other. All that together and you get to be somewhere the game doesn't want you right now, and that saves you like $1 billion, I guess. I don't know, I've never played this game. This is pretty fun though. A little more wandering into the dark and I got to and collected the B-side tape in 6.5 minutes. Now I can play the part I'm actually going to beat. The first 2 rooms are imprinted in my soul, and if I ever fuck them up, I am surely dead and have been replaced. Further in, I'll need to head off to the right to pick up a key to unlock the left in order to go even further right. Not confusing at all. In the run I followed, there's this crazy maneuver that manipulates the game's respawn points by just barely peeking into the upper room, dropping back down, and dying. That respawns you on the far right, completely foregoing the key journey. But for the life of me, I couldn't stay low enough to avoid landing on these platforms, so I bailed on this trick, opting for the 30-second time loss. It probably didn't help that I never even looked up how to do the trick, but whatever. Chapter 5 is very strange for me. On the one hand, it's one of the most fun chapters, both on its own and with all the speedrun tech. And on the other, it forces me to deal with these bullshit monsters and I gotta save Theo? I'm gonna scream, dude. I'm actually gonna scream. Now that's a love-hate relationship. You stopped dead? Why did you do that? He does something where he uses the explosion to like undercut all of these, and I'm super into that idea. Yeah, like that, except don't touch the wall. Perfect. Okay, yeah. Why did I do that? What? Such a dumb bitch. Fuck off. Fuck off now. And I still saved like 8 minutes on that split. Jesus. For how large chapter 6 is, it's surprisingly straightforward. Some of that was because of tricks I just couldn't do, but mostly this chapter is figuring out how to be as aggressive as possible during the battle and fight. Good. Good, that is what I wanted. You see, I cut the corner so I saved time. I traversed deeper and deeper into the mountain with the help of Bumpers, Feathers, and Kevin all the way until I made it to her. Unfortunately this time, I was feeling a little tilted both from the game and being very hungry, and I ended up doing even worse than I did in the 2-hour run, which is a little embarrassing. Regardless, I'm still on pace to cut off a huge chunk of time, and I'm already at the final chapter once again. That's it, that was the trick. Hope you liked it. The first section is pretty easy, with a couple new skips too, but it's also the part where I almost choked. Oh god! I thought you would just throw me straight up. Which would have been quite the time loss. That was crazy. I did not see that coming one bit. I don't think I should have. I don't think I deserve that. Oh. Sure, I'll take that. That was the plan, so. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know. I feel like maybe you're being a bit of a douche. Why? Why would you do that? I just let go? Really? That's what kills me? I stumbled a good bit near the end, but had a very strong finish. Boom! I felt pretty confident that I'd be able to knock down a good bit more time just by going through the motions, but hidden in all those gold splits was a massive problem that it was about time I handled. The 31 minutes it took to beat chapter 5. And that's after the 7 minutes I saved on this run. For the normal chapter, there were only 3 things that were a big problem. Come on! That reverse extended hyper, this ultra, what the fuck? And for some reason, these 2 simple ass platforms. Jesus fuck. What am I doing? After 4 or 5 runs though, I whittled down the time to pick up the cassette from 9 minutes on the first run to just under 3 minutes. But that's just the run up. We've still got the B-side. Here, the bad part is all of it, but some of it's worse. The first ones being these damn rooms with the moving spikes. No matter how much I practiced and tried to learn patterns, it always felt like their timing would change just a little bit to fuck with me. And once I stepped into the mirror world, the problem became the floaty monsters. Like every single screen that had a floaty monster in it. And as if that weren't hard enough, I've got to weave around them while making physical contact with Theo, truly God's greatest challenge. After a little over an hour running through all of this again and again, I got fast enough to finish it in under 10 minutes. Now I can get back to some runs. Love that, love doing that. I love wasting my time and everyone else's. I was about to say, imagine I just one-shot it. 2-shot it, I'll take that. And it's time for Temple, which hypothetically, I should have pretty good time save here. That was crazy, actually. No! Retry? That was such a weird thing to do. I made a monstrous improvement by finishing the next run 35 minutes faster than before. Boom! And that wasn't the end of it. I was consistently making less mistakes, getting my times lower and lower and lower. And then I stumbled a bit. God has truly abandoned us. It sucked to lose a run just because I had an aneurysm in chapter 5, but I knew I was knocking on the door of a sub hour. I can do this. You're gonna see me do this. Getting upset. I'm getting really upset. Oh. I couldn't. My fingers were not situated in a way that would ever allow me to press LB. Is that the first one? Or last one? The exact opposite of what I was at. I lost time on that? I thought I was crushing it. And it's the part of the game where we guess. It's part of the game where we don't even get to guess. Jesus. Oh. How many pixels was that? How many pixels off was that? I want Celeste experts to tell me exactly how many pixels too low I was to fall through instead of land on it. Please. What is the matter with me? What is the matter with me? Jesus. Room you've done 1,000,000 times? Good news, you forgot how. Dude, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt I can do that. I've done it before, and I will do it again. Okay, 2 minutes ahead. We're doing all right. Let's summit this bitch up. We're poised to get sub hour, but anything can happen. All right, we are currently 2 minutes ahead, and I don't want to alarm you fellas, but last time I finished, I needed 1.5 minutes to be sub hour. So don't get your hopes up. This may in fact be the one. Oh, maybe not though. You know, maybe not. All that matters here is that we remain as calm as possible, because being stressed out in times like this is not helpful for anybody. I fought my way through every chapter, crested the mountain, and clocked in a truly soul-shattering time of 1 hour and 18 seconds. That's depressing. That really sucks. Oh man, I was so ready for it to be over. It was such a solid run. Obviously the beginning wasn't that great, but I golded Temple, which I didn't think I was gonna do again. This really hurt. After this happened, I was ready to end the video here and just say I tried my best, but that didn't really feel fair to you or me. So I steeled myself for one final run. Win or lose, this is it. Oh! Well, you know, next time. Next time, obviously, is what I meant. Obviously, I meant next time. Win or lose, no matter what. I started things off like always, running through the city using every bit of movement I've learned, including some newer additions like coming up from the right side here, skipping landing on the ledge of the top left here, and skipping the traffic block here to get a respectable minute 40. Chapter 2 was the same Hyperfest as usual, and I actually managed to be ready for the hyper here that I usually forget. And right at the 1 minute mark, I gave my first greetings to Madeline. I flew through the rooms and even learned to leave myself some room here so that I could make my exit a little sooner. Through every room, the trail of Madeline's just couldn't seem to catch me, and I started the call with Mom at my best ever 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Stepping into Oshiro's domain was the first place things can really go downhill. And I did die before I even made it in, which made me a little nervous. After that though, I was able to get in, get this hyper, and snag this key without dying once. Room after room, I was flying through flawlessly. Didn't mean to do that. Well, mostly flawlessly. A little longer than 2 minutes and I'm already in the big mess. I went down to the bottom route afterwards to start off on the right foot. That was good, I like that. That's good, I like that too. That was good, I like that 3. That was good, I like that 4. Jesus Christ. Other than that though, I really did clear the 3 different messes pretty quickly. I made my way towards my room, got a first try demo, almost, and had the always frustrating scuffle with Oshiro to finish the chapter in 9 minutes, only losing a few seconds from my pace. Chapter 4 went pretty much as expected, and I managed to lose all of the lead I had built up. Lovely. But it's time for chapter 5 now, which I actually do feel pretty confident in. I picked up the cassette in exactly 2 minutes and stormed into the B-side, clearing the first few rooms perfectly. I did have a few deaths in the first room towards the key, as is tradition, and almost made a horrific mistake as I tried to get the key. No, that was almost horrific. That was almost so bad. Some flawless bubble transitioning, only about 30 seconds in the room that feels random, a hyper that makes me feel pretty cool, and the other room that feels random that I actually got on my first try. Into the mirror world where I crushed the first descent and did the first, third, and fourth monster rooms on my first try. Not the second though. Theo and I were in sync this time too, and I did a 6:48. Better than I've ever done it and giving me an almost 2 minute lead. I still have 27 minutes left and only 2 chapters to complete. With chapter 6, I did get caught up on some of the feather rooms, but 5.5 minutes in and I ran into Madeline. And a few minutes into that, something I didn't really consider started to be a problem. I was getting tired. I'd already stayed up later than I usually do finishing the last run, but I really wanted to put this to bed here and now. But doing that made me pretty tired and meant some costly mistakes. I just missed it? Are you sure? Ending chapter 6 only 14 more seconds ahead of where I already was. This was already enough time saved to get a sub-hour run, but there's nowhere you can fuck up more than in chapter 7. I cleared 0 meters in just a minute and I was feeling very calm. I was feeling so calm that I thought it was okay to try tricks I had never practiced. And it worked. I thought I could. As if that weren't enough, the gods above decided to shine good fortune on me too. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And with that on my side, 500 meters only took a minute as well. And although it took a little longer, I cleared 1,000 meters deathless. 1,500 meters, 2,000, 2,500. I flew through them with one of the best showings I've had, earning me nearly 2.5 minutes of extra time saved. Just 30 quick checkpoints until the end, and I was really starting to feel the pressure. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight, come and me one go. Being serious though, I'm very happy I set the stipulation that this would be my last run. It let me play completely calm and not buckle under the pressure when it got to the end. And because of that, not only did I get sub-hour, but I brought it all the way down to 57 minutes. Woo! Sub 1 hour, and when it's time for me to do it, brother, I crush it. It was also my first sub 100 deaths run, and I think I could get it down to 45-ish minutes if I drop my deaths to 10 or less. Am I gonna do it though? No.